Hi everyone, it's Mark here at Chris's Coffee again, and today we got something really special we want to share with you. I'm sitting right next to the new Saeco Royal OTC espresso machine. Now this is a bean-to-cup super automatic machine that has been completely redesigned by Saeco, both internally and aesthetically. With this machine, you're going to be able to do straight shots of espresso, double shots, Americanos, long coffees, lattes, cappuccinos, all with just a touch of a button. The Royal OTC measures in at 11 inches wide by 15.6 inches high by 18.1 inches deep. It runs off a standard 110 volt 15 amp outlet. It holds around 600 grams of beans in the hopper, and it's a reservoir only machine with a 2.5 liter tank. The coffee grounds container holds around 18 pucks before it needs to be emptied. It is UL certified for commercial usage and has automatic pre-infusion with every shot. Now what we're going to do in this video is we're going to show you exactly what comes inside the box when you buy a Saeco Royal OTC. We're going to show you all the accessories that come with it. We're also then going to take a look at the menu, just kind of a quick look just to show you what the settings are, but then we are going to take a deeper look into the technical settings so you can see all the parameters that can be changed on this machine. And then finally we're going to have it pull a shot of straight espresso for us, and then we're going to have it make us a latte as well. So before we take a look at what's inside the box, I wanted to show you a little trick that we learned on how to safely remove these machines from the packaging. If you gently tip this on its side, and then cut open the bottom tape, like so, open the flaps up entirely, like this, and then pull the machine back up, pull this flap out, and you can safely remove it from its packaging this way. Now when you take the Royal OTC out of the box, you get a handful of accessories. First things first, you're going to get 3 manuals, one in English, one in French, one in Spanish. You're going to receive the Cappuccinatori, which is the device that allows you to make lattes and cappuccinos. It also comes with a Cappuccinatori accessory that allows the milk tube to be accessible from the right. By default, it's accessible from the left. This is the milk tube itself. And finally, here's a cover that covers the spot where the Cappuccinatori goes, just in case you don't want to use it. Now when you get your Royal OTC up on the countertop, before you power it on, you'll want to make sure it's full of soft water, and you want to make sure your beans are in there. There's 2 hoppers on this machine. First one on the left, this is your water reservoir. Has very convenient handles to pull it out and fill. Excellent feature on that. And then finally the one on the right is your bean hopper. Fill it with whatever beans you like. Close the lid, and on to the next step. So now that the machine has water in it and it has beans in it, I wanted to show you how to access the grinder settings. So first things first, you access it by removing the drip tray. Comes out very easily. Obviously excess water will go in here. Spent pucks will go in there. Once the drip tray is removed, you can open up the side door on the right. And this is where we're going to access the grinder settings. So as you can see, now that we have the machine open, we have 2 dials to adjust. One with a gray handle and one with a black handle. The one with a gray handle, that adjusts your dose. Go to the left and that'll decrease your dose. Move to the right and that'll increase your dose. The other dial with the black handle, that adjusts the coarseness and fineness of your grind. All the way to the left, as it's shown right now, that's going to be fine. Move it to the right to go coarser. While we have the machine open, you can also grab a hold of the group head if you ever need to clean it by just pressing onto this, and the whole group head comes right out for you. Now next up, we're going to show you how to install the Cappuccinatori on the Royal. Now, as I mentioned earlier when we were going over what comes in the box, you'll get a Cappuccinatori that has a left-sided milk tube. You can use the other accessory that comes with this and make it go on the right-hand side. We're keeping on the left-hand side for this video. All you do, take the Cappuccinatori, insert the tube, lock it right into place. With the Cappuccinatori now installed, now we can turn this machine on. The plug is in the back, as is the power switch. After the machine is powered on for the first time, it's going to ask you to select a language, which you can do right here from the menu. And then it's going to run a water purge through the group and hot water dispenser. Now moving forward, the Royal will automatically purge hot water through the group dispenser each time it's powered on. It won't be nearly as much as it does the first time. Now with this digital menu, to access the menu, there's 3 little lines and a check mark. Press that, and you're going to see User Menu and Tech Menu. User Menu is going to be your manual cleaning cycles. You can go into the User Menu and press Brew Group Clean or Cappuccinatori Clean if you wanted to just manually clean them on demand. Going into Tech Menu, you're going to see the settings and statistics. Statistics is just to show you how many times the Royal has produced a drink for your own records. And settings, when you click into there, you're going to see 3 more settings: the credit menu, the beverage settings, and the machine menu. Now with the credit menu, Saeco sells an additional accessory for the Royal that allows a payment system to be set up and installed. This would be if you want to set up the Royal at a hotel, if you want to use it at a low volume restaurant, that can be ordered right off of Saeco's website. The beverage setting allows you to set the volumetrics per drink, so you can increase the amount of volume or decrease it based on your own personal tastes. So now we're going to take a look at the machine menu. We're going to click down to that. And now you're going to see a couple different options: general menu, display, and water menu. Starting with general menu, the first thing up is going to be acoustic tone. So as you can hear, the machine gives off an audible beep when you navigate the menu. This setting lets you turn it on or off. Going down to Eco Mode. Eco Mode, by default, this mode is off and the machine is always warmed up. When you turn Eco Mode on, it cuts down the energy consumption, but would need more time to heat up the temperature and make a drink. Standby setting, this allows the machine to power down after a predetermined amount of inactivity. This can be turned off entirely if you want the machine on and ready to go at all times. The next option is alarms. So after a certain amount of drinks are pulled on the Royal, it's going to ask you to perform a quick clean or a standard clean or a descaling. If you don't want those reminders at all, you can just turn them off right on this menu setting. The next one is pre-grinding. It's an interesting feature. So by default, this option is off, but if it's turned on, the Royal will grind for another shot, saving time if you want to make multiple drinks in a row. It'll basically grind a shot on demand, and then it'll have another one kind of loaded up. So whenever you want to pull a next shot, you just press the button and it's already got one ready to go. Pre-brewing. So this allows you to set up how long the machine takes between when it grinds and tamps to when extraction begins. So it essentially lets you set up a bloom time for your machine. So you have the ability to turn this off entirely or provide a 2 or 4 second wait time. Next up is temperature. That, simply put, lets you adjust the temperature of your drinks. And then you're going to see user password and tech password. Those are your last 2 options. So if you're, once again, using this in a restaurant and you don't want anybody else to kind of mess with the settings, you would just set up your user password and your tech password. So going back to the previous menu, we're now going to look at the display menu. And first thing up is language. As I mentioned, when you first start up this machine, it's going to ask you to select a language. You can change it here. Contrast, pretty self-explanatory, allows you to adjust the contrast of the digital menu. Display logo, that allows you to upload any image on the Royal screen. So instead of by default it just saying Royal, you can add whatever image you'd like. And now going back to the menu again, we're going to look at the water menu. And with water menu, the hardness lets you program the Royal with the hardness of your water, so your machine can let you know when it's time to change your filter. Moving down to filter. Speaking of filter, going off the water hardness setting, this gives you an alarm letting you know when it's time to change out the filter or your in-tank softening pouch. Finally, we'll take a look at descaling. When you select that, it's going to provide step-by-step instructions on how exactly to descale your Royal. Moving along with this menu, the next one up is factory setup. And what that does, that resets the machine settings back to the original factory settings. The next two options are read, config, and write. So the Royal has a USB port on the back of this machine, and that allows it to read settings from a USB stick and import them onto the Royal. That's what read config does. Now write config is the same idea, just reversed. So you can save your settings on this Royal and upload them to another Royal if you have multiple units in, say, an office or a restaurant. Next up is firmware update. Now, the Saeco Royals are updated with the latest firmware before they even ship out to you. But if there ever is an update in the future, you can use a USB stick in your computer to download the update and then upload it to your Royal. The last one up is Bluetooth. This was never activated on the Royal OTCs, so no reason really to go into that menu. Now what we're going to show next is the Saeco Royal pulling a straight shot of espresso. Very easy to do. Going to lower the dispenser down so it's close to your espresso cup, and then press the espresso button. That sound you're hearing is the Saeco Royal tamping. And there you have it. So what we're going to show next is the Saeco Royal making a latte. Now this whole process takes around 2.5 minutes, and a lot of that is because the machine needs to tamp, it needs to heat up, it needs to grind, it needs to pull the milk, it needs to pull the shot. So we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Get yourself a latte cup, your dispenser, make sure it's down a little bit, like you can see right there. And then all you're going to do is take a steaming pitcher, fill it with whatever milk you like, and then press latte. There's the sound of the machine tamping again. And what it's doing right now is it's getting up to temperature to steam that milk. So there's going to be a little bit of a wait while it does that. On the screen itself, you'll see a thermometer flashing. That's telling you that it's getting up to temperature. And now we have a fantastic latte to enjoy. Now, who is this machine for? So because the Royal OTC is a super automatic machine, it's really designed for folks who just want to get to that machine every morning and get that great straight shot of espresso or get that great latte or cappuccino without a lot of fuss. But truth be told, this machine has produced some of the best drinks I've ever gotten out of a super automatic machine. So you could use this not only just at home, but in an office setting or even a low volume restaurant. If you're looking for high quality cafe style drinks and you want to simplify the whole espresso routine, I'd be hard-pressed not to recommend the Royal OTC. Thank you so much for watching our video on the Royal OTC. If you have any questions at all on this machine, please feel free to give us a call at 518-452-5995, or you can email us at support@chriscoffee.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time.